What's up, everyone? So during the week, I'm going to try to do some short stories, mostly stories that are in the news. And I am working on the H.H. Holmes one. That will be this weekend or this week sometime. Probably, I don't know, like 7 episodes or whatever. So, but I don't have that one yet because it takes a lot of research to do.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a biggie.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, I know. Well, you saying no pressure actually puts pressure on there.
Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's great. If you do it, sitting under a covered porch in the rain with me tea ready. Girl, that sounds lovely, actually. Are you sure you want to listen to us and ruin the vibe? Mm-hmm. You don't need to listen to this garbage.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Florida, the worst place to commit any crime whatsoever.
They are serious.
We're going to 211 West 79th Place. This is in Hialeah, Florida. You don't want to be here committing a crime. I don't think we've not done a Florida story where they haven't got a harsh penalty.
Very, very harsh, but also feels right, for the most part.
Does it?
Well, you say that, but then you get mad when we cover a story and it's not like a Florida-like punishment.
Yeah, this is a nice place, man. Florida, I was about to say Florida's nice.
Let's not make that mistake.
Yeah, no shit. All right, this is an apartment building here, and I'll have to show you the picture of the apartment. But this is October 12th, and this is last year. This is 6 months ago this happened. October 12th, it's very late at night, and a 911 call comes in. So we're going to listen to that first, and you can try to tell me what you make of it.
No, I'm not her. I just have a little bit of blood on my hands.
I need to know if your mom is breathing.
She's dead, miss.
Okay, and what did you do then?
There's blood all over the floor.
Where is your sister? Your sister still there?
She's sleeping.
She's sleeping, okay.
Yeah. Excuse me, miss, what do I do if she wakes up?
If you wake up, just let me know. I need to know, do you think we can help your mom?
Miss, she's dead. I took pictures and I told my friends about it. Was that bad?
You told who about it?
My friends.
Who did you send those pictures to?
My friend. I don't know his real name because he is an online friend, so I play with a lot.
What? He said his mom is sleeping, and then he said no, she's she's dead? No. I don't know what this case is.
Before we dive into this, how old did this kid sound?
Maybe like a teenager.
Give me an age.
17.
All right, so
his sister was sleeping. Thank you, Endolin.
Yeah, so do you know this case? No, but she just listens. That was fucked up. She just listens. 13 to 16. Yeah, there you go. Hialeah, Florida, this honor roll student calls 911. This 8th grade honor roll student calls 911. Derek Stephen Rosa. All right, so this just happened. Guess his birth date. This is going to make you feel old.
Oh, God.
He was born August 26, 2010.
Oh, my God, he's 13?
13. This 13-year-old boy calls 911 and says, I just killed my mother. He also says that his baby sister was sleeping right next to the mother. And that's when he says, what if she wakes up? The operator didn't know she was talking about the baby girl, but he was talking about the baby sister, which was only 14 days old, sleeping in the crib. And she slept through it. So that's what we're talking about tonight. This is the kid right here who calls 911. Can you describe this photo? This is the photo he sent to one of his friends, or his friend, after did you notice his hands that are bloody? He's doing the hang 10.
Oh my God.
Can you describe it and not just say, oh my God?
I mean, he's a young kid with glasses, dark hair. He's got his tongue sticking out, and he's doing Lauren, we talked about this. Is it hang loose or...
Yes, hang loose. I think that's hang loose. It says, Rosa, with his hands covered in blood, is seen making a hang loose surfer gesture of friendship. The photo is one that he sent to his friend with the word goodbye. Then he calls 911 to say he's murdered his mother.
Jesus.
This is a crazy case. This is the the mother here. So that's his biological mother, Irene. She was 39, and this is really sad, but this is her in the crib with baby right before.
Oh my God.
Right before the murder. So, I mean, that is literally right before the murder. Not even 30 minutes later, she'd be dead. So this case is in the news, and it is, you know, it's got some substance to it, man, because this is a 13-year-old child by 2 months. 2 months before this, he was 12, and he just murdered his mother.
So he just turned 13.
Yeah, he murdered his mother with a knife. All right, let me talk a little bit about this apartment, and then we'll go through the whole day. All right.
I don't remember talking about this in headlines.
Well, it's in. Oh, maybe it's one of those ones that I was going to put in headlines, but I put in case requests instead. Yeah,
I don't remember talking about it. Maybe we did. I mean, we just talk about so many.
Yeah, but as far as the apartment set up, he's been living there with 2 years with his mom, biological mom, and the baby sister, 14-day-old sister, and his stepfather, Frank, which is a truck driver. Frank was in Georgia, I believe, at the time of the murder. His bio dad, he doesn't know where the bio dad is, but he does spend like every other weekend at his house. You're going to see real quick that this is a kid. I'm not sticking up for him, but he doesn't know where he doesn't know his address. He doesn't know his phone number.
What? You should know that at that age. You got to teach your kids to know that when they're really young, right? I mean, right. I don't have kids, so like if I'm wrong, if I'm off base, just tell me.
Brandon, that's a good question. So I ask, why did he do this? That is the question everyone wants to know. And that is what makes me think there's something more to this case, because when the detectives asked him in the interrogation that night, why did you do this? First, he deflects and says, well, let me answer that. I just got to go to the bathroom first. He goes to the bathroom, yada, yada, comes back. Okay, tell us why. Por qué did you kill your mother? And that's when he asked for a lawyer. So no one knows why he did it. And there's even a whole community of people saying that he didn't do it, even though we see him. Yeah, it goes pretty deep. So let's dive into it.
Okay.
He hasn't been charged yet. The defense is pushing back the case a little bit to get more evidence. Like they're requesting to reconstruct the crime scene and all kinds of stuff. But we're going to get into all that.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on, but I assume he's an older brother with mommy issues. I was told that I had mommy issues, but I don't believe it.
We have discussed this. Yes, indeedy.
So October 12th, this is the day. He wakes up. He is at his mom's house, that apartment, obviously. He gets on the school bus. He attends his class at I Matter Middle High. It's a regular day at school for him. Nothing out of the ordinary. Quote, I didn't do too much work. That's what he says. After school, he rides the bus home. He stays home the whole day, and he goes to bed around 10 p.m. Mom goes to bed around the same time. He did say that usually he goes to bed at 9 p.m., but for whatever reason that we don't know yet, he went to bed around 10. Mom's already in bed with baby, and we see him on the baby camera standing over mom at 11 p.m. He calls 911 at 11:30 p.m. So, which is kind of disturbing, right? We see him right here in this photo standing over mom.
Oh God.
You see. Now, we don't have the whole video of the baby cam. I wish we did, because as we'll get to, a lot of people are saying this isn't even the kid.
What?
But you see this photo right here. This is the one I showed you. This is mom, like in baby. Let me show you the video of this boy. Again, his name is Derek Stevens Rosa. And let me show you the video of him from the Ring camera video. You got any questions or anything? What's wrong?
I'm trying to look at the picture that you had of him and why people would think it's not him. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
But Shreya made a very amusing comment. If I cannot slurp them mommy milkers, then no one can.
You may feel pretty bad saying that. I was going to say. I'm not sticking up.
You don't think the kid is guilty?
No. I'm not saying that, but just let's talk about it.
Okay.
I see officers. Do I leave?
Don't leave my
No,
house.
do not leave. Do not leave.
Okay.
Anyway, it's just him basically talking to the 911 officers. Yeah, baby is alive. Yeah, baby is alive. All right, let me get on with this. All right, he was seen standing over mom at 11 p.m. and the 911 call came in at 11:30. He was also seen cradling his baby sister, the newborn, at 10:23. So mom was asleep at a little after 10. She goes to bed. She puts baby in crib. He is seen on the camera, baby cam, cradling the baby sister. At this point, he goes to the kitchen. After he puts the baby back into the crib, he finds himself in the kitchen where he pulls out the drawer and pulls out a relatively large kitchen knife.
Okay.
I'm going to show you that knife right now. This is the knife right here. In the interrogation video, he says that the knife was purple, although it is pink, but that probably doesn't matter. But can you describe this knife here?
It looks like a big chopping knife.
Like maybe
it's big. It's definitely a big. It's a big knife.
All right, so here's what he says he does. He goes into the kitchen, he grabs that pink handled knife, he goes back to his mother's room, and at that point, he yells something at his mother. Now, this is important, I think. Now, like I said, we don't know the motive, and I think the motive is more than what we think it could be.
And was this caught on the nursery cam?
Yeah, but we only have
Okay.
the still photos.
Okay.
He stands over his mother for quite a long time. 20 minutes, it seems like, just staring at her or something.
Okay.
And at that point, he yells the word maracona, and that's a Spanish word. They both speak Spanish. Maracona. Now, I looked up that word, and that's the English translation of that word verbatim is faggot, which means like queer. It's a sexual connotation to that word, obviously, which is odd, right? Because why would like that? That is such a. I thought he would say like puta or something, or whatever, like bitch. But that is such a weird word to say. Anyway, I did look that up on Reddit, and I wanted to see if anyone could weigh in on that. And can you read this? This is what someone had said.
I think the insult is pretty strange. I am a native speaker, and at least in my region, I've never heard of it directed at females in the sexual orientation or preference sense. People use other insults for that. There is one more used as a synonym for coward, and I find it curious. Why would he call his mom a coward? Would it had to do with the fact that he would have to leave and the mom did not defend him or something?
So he yells this word at his mother, and at that point he brings that knife down on the neck, the right side of her neck. Quote on the vein, it's the type of vein that goes to your neck here on both sides. That's what he says to the detectives. The knife slices the artery open, and she starts bleeding a lot. Now at this point she does wake up, and she does start screaming.
Jesus.
And I don't know if it's because she starts screaming or maybe he intended to do this altogether, but he would end up stabbing his mother in around the same spot in the neck 46 times.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 46 times. There's a lot to this. There's a lot of, I don't want to say inconsistencies, but there's something about the story that doesn't add up. I'm telling you right now, it's just not adding up, dude. I do think he did it, all right, but it's not adding up, man. All right, we'll get into it, but 46 times he stabs her. The baby is still sleeping and apparently never wakes up. All right, so what do you think so far?
Well, one thing that I am thinking about is back to the 911 call where he says he sent it to a friend. He sent the photos to a friend. Who's the friend? A guy, someone that he met online. So it wasn't even so. In my mind, I am going to someone told him to kill his mom.
That's interesting that you just said that. That is so interesting that you said that, which we'll get into. I'm not saying the kid didn't do it, but all right, watch this little interview of the interrogation when he says, well, first read that from what I just sent you, and then we'll watch this.
Okay. Officers have detailed finding a grisly scene when they arrived at the home, with Garcia left splayed on the floor with dozens of knife wounds, including a slashed artery in her neck.
Okay. So you went to sleep around 10?
10.
Okay. And then what?
I woke up and went to the kitchen.
I grabbed one of the kitchen knives, and then I went to her room, and then
It's okay, you can say it.
I killed her.
You killed her?
The detective says, it's okay, you can say it. And then he says, I killed her. It's not nothing suspicious.
This is before he asked for a lawyer.
Yeah, this is before. This interview is about 20 minutes and then he asked for a lawyer. But it is interesting when he asked for a lawyer is when he is told to tell the detectives why he did this. After first deflecting and going to the bathroom, coming back and then says, you know what, I don't want to tell you why. I want to talk to a lawyer. And look at this.
All right. What type of knife was it? Do you know?
It was just a big size kitchen knife.
That is also what I found kind of inconsistent. That knife is not that damn big, dude.
Well, handle to tip.
His fingers, that is like...
Yeah, that's big, still bigger than the knife itself.
Exactly, which I get, you know, I mean, it's kind of like, oh, I caught a fish this big type of shit. He stabs 46 times the mother in the neck. And after he kills his mother, he goes into the stepfather's closet and he grabs a gun. The stepfather has two guns and Derek says that he has a Glock 9. He knows everything about this gun. He says he pulls out the 9mm. He puts a magazine in it. He pulls the slide back and then he tries to kill himself with it. But he had like a conscious thought, oh, I just couldn't do it. He couldn't bring himself to do it. At this point, he takes 2 photos of his mother dead, bleeding out, and he takes 1 photo of himself, which I showed you. It's the hang 10 photo where he's doing the hang loose sign with blood on his hand. And he sends those photos to a friend who he then calls and tells the friend goodbye. This friend, quote, I don't know his real name. He's an online friend, end quote. Derek says he's known this guy since he was 10, which was only 3 years ago. And he has his phone number, but has no idea this guy's name. He says he's seen a picture of him, but I mean, no one knows. He made a name up for the friend. The friend's name to him, in his phone at least, was Sweden. Although this guy apparently doesn't live in Sweden, but lives in the US, but quite far away. That's all he said. Probably like in California or something, maybe. He then says goodbye to him. He tries to shoot himself again, but couldn't. And then, as you heard, I don't know if you heard in the 911 call, but
I took pictures and I told my friends about it. Was that bad?
he then asked the 911 operator, quote, was that bad? Did you hear that?
I missed that part.
All right, let me.
I don't remember.
I think that's really important. So I kind of want to like listen to that one more time. Now, I'm not saying he didn't do it, but
no, I definitely think he is there's no one else on the ring cam and things like that.
I took pictures and I told my friends about it. Was that bad?
he said he sent the pictures to his friend. Was that bad? Also, notice his manners on the phone. Miss, thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. All right.
Ooh, interesting theories.
What's some theories going on?
Shram said gang initiation. It's a great theory, I think. Andalin said, did he think this was a fantasy? Like, was he on Ambien or something?
That's a good theory.
Both good.
Now, that's pretty much what we have so far for the murder itself. And like I said, this only happened in October. The case was supposed to go to trial in February. However, it's been pushed back. So it should be going to trial any week now. All right. But the judge did sentence Derek to live in an adult prison, not just an adult prison, but the Miami-Dade Metro Prison, which is notoriously bad.
Yeah, that's pretty harsh.
That is really harsh. Now, I want to say he's not living the normal life as an inmate. But I still think, honestly, I think it's super harsh to put him there. I wouldn't
put him in that prison.
That's where he's at now. He's
still only 13 years old.
Can you read from the judge?
While denying the teen's motion for bail, the judge remarked on harsh conditions he has reportedly been kept in, adding, I am disturbed by the relatively small amount of time that the child is permitted outside his cell.
His life in prison right now is this. He is, pretty much in solitary confinement in his own own cell. He has no communication with anyone else. He is served breakfast at 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. They're trying to keep him completely out of population because he's a fucking child, and that is a harsh prison. So when he goes out, the very little times he does go out, he is surrounded by correction officers. You know what I'm saying?
They should not have put him in this prison.
I don't know why they did. There's something weird here about this thing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. He is not allowed to access his glasses. His glasses that he needs to see.
How can they deny him that? I mean, I'm not like supporting, him, but I feel like that's pretty basic,
He is on no education class schedule. Yeah, he did it. We know that, but just to kind of show his age a little bit, besides the fact he was born in 2010, he's in an isolated cell. During the interrogation, he didn't know what an attorney was.
Well, he did because he said he wanted he knew the word lawyer.
Yeah, he knew
attorney.
the word lawyer, but not attorney. All right. He didn't know what the word coercion was. So they had to explain this to him. He's an honor roll student, A's and B's.
I feel like those are things that he should know by that age.
He didn't know his own address. He didn't know his own phone number, like his iPhone phone number. So that kind of shows his age. Now, I will say the family is supporting him, and he is showing a lot of remorse. Not during the interrogation. You saw him. He looks completely emotionless.
He was a sociopath.
But now he is definitely kicking in what he did. He's very emotional about what he did. He's been seen crying in court. The family is there for him during court. You see his father right here, his bio father blowing him a kiss. And they are supporting him. For instance, there's a petition out right now that says, the title is Save Derek Rosa. It's got 25,000 signatures. And I'm just going to kind of read this. Why this petition matters. There's a 13-year-old boy named Derek Rosa. Supposedly he killed his mother with a knife, and he called 911 himself, stating that he had killed his mother and his stepfather was a truck driver and he wasn't there. They arrested the young boy, who has autism and looks very disoriented at what is happening around and to him. His maternal grandmother and his father have spoken about the young boy, that he is a good boy and they want him in juvie, but the judge wants to sentence him like an adult. In the 911 phone call, there is a second voice heard behind Derek's voice. The picture taken by the baby monitor or camera in the room shows a heavy-set figure hovering on top of the mother. Supposedly this is Derek. No, that's not the young man's body or weight. The stepfather has been investigated too. He had a life insurance to gain if the mother was unalived. Please, as a mother and grandmother to many beautiful souls, I plead for justice for this beautiful young man who looks innocent only because he is innocent. Please help him. God bless this young man, and justice for Derek. 26,000 signs is not bad. Now, it's mostly the Spanish community. Now, a lot of stuff, I don't think he would be in prison if that wasn't him strangling the mother. But let me just go, let me play devil's advocate and tell you exactly what they're talking about. Like, that's not him in the room. Okay.
And he's also autistic, you said.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
So this is the photo that some people online are saying is not him. This is a heavy-set figure. And not only that...
Doesn't look heavy-set to me, though.
Well, this is what people are saying. I don't think the police would, because they have the footage, the whole footage, unless it just takes random photos. This is what they released. But in the interrogation, Derek had not changed clothes yet. There's blood on his shirt, a very small amount of blood, which is notable because he should have been bathed in blood because he hit the artery.
He hit an artery.
And he's not. He only has a couple spots and blood only on one hand. He said he never changed clothes at all. And yet in that photo, you see someone, it looks like he's wearing like a hoodie or something and long pants.
But it's baggy attire. So I do think that could still be him.
Yeah, I'm playing devil's advocate here. But then if you see him on the other footage, the footage that I showed you from the Ring camera, let me show you right quick. It looks like he's wearing different clothing.
But there was time that lapsed. He could have thrown on...
Well, in the interrogation, he specifically says that he did not change any clothing. And there was blood on his sweater. I obviously know it's him, but I'm just, getting this out the way because a lot of people don't believe it's him. All right. So what do you think? You think it's him, right?
So far, yes.
Yeah, I don't think it would not be him.
I'm not seeing other than they didn't, there's not a secondary figure. They're just talking about they think the person that was standing over her. I mean, there's the cameras in the house, the Ring cameras, because it's an apartment. I'm not seeing, anyone else that's coming in or out.
Yeah, I saw one person say that if you're wearing dark clothes on a black and white video, it makes you look bigger than you are. I don't know. I mean, I really doubt that's not him because they have the whole Ring footage.
Yeah.
Okay. The family does support him. They're all wearing shirts to the court that says, quote, "We are all Derek." They're supporting him. All right. It is believed that he does have autism, but was never diagnosed.
Okay.
This is from local10.com. Judge denies bid to transfer Derek Rosa back to juvie after being charged in mom's murder.
That part I do think is a mistake.
I think it's terrible, yeah. So on Friday, testimony began with math instructor who teaches Rosa and juveniles at the facility. And, quote, "How did he respond to your instruction during those classes?" the defense attorney says. "Like any other normal kid would. Do you suspect Rosa has a learning disability?" the judge asked during her testimony. "Yes," she responded. "He is always telling me he doesn't understand. He is a good and polite student." The court also heard from Dr. Terry Coopers, who testified that Rosa seemed to have a suicidal crisis. Quote, "This young man is in a severe crisis, but he doesn't show it on his face. His autism spectrum disorder is another risk factor for suicide. Nobody ever diagnosed him with autism ever before except someone at the jail. I have a good 7 to 8 years of school records that don't indicate that either, and all of a sudden someone in the jail after incarceration thinks he has autism." So
interesting.
On his computer, there were searches for the carotid artery image diagram. What is the best place to stab someone? Is a small knife good for killing? Is it easier to kill someone with a small knife? Can a knife cut through bone? The last search was an inquiry about machine guns.
I mean, to me, there's no question he did it.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, from the family, from the New York Post, quote, "I guess what we're asking for is another opportunity, a second chance to help him grow and become mature as a grown man and to put this behind him. Derek is a good boy, affectionate, loving," one relative said. "This is not like Derek. No one knows Derek like we know him, and this is not Derek, so you know." I think he did do it too. And I know you said about the online, what? Do you think I'm manipulating you?
He's giving both sides of the story. Who is GG? I don't know. Who's GG? I
am kind of manipulating you. I will be honest. I feel for this kid, man. I do. I'll be honest. I feel for him. I do. He's a fucking 12-year-old kid.
I mean, he's 13, but
he's getting tried as an adult.
I don't disagree with that part of it. What I like, all right, I think there's a whole lot of other things that are not relevant to.
I know I'm bad at that. I'll tell you my bias right now. I don't want to see this kid rot in prison. I mean, watching him on the video, being respectful to everyone. He's not a killer. I think
he literally is a killer.
I know
though.
He's a killer. So here's what I'm thinking. I think there's more to it. I think he was either brainwashed. I know that sounds crazy, but if his stepfather did have a life insurance policy, I don't want to speculate because, I don't want to blame anyone, but I'm telling you right now, I don't think he was in his right mind. I don't know. He offered
the searches don't help. This was premeditated.
The searches. But yeah.
Yes, he may have been influenced by someone, and I that is my suspicion. But he did murder his mom. I think the real gotcha. He shouldn't be in an adult prison. I don't know what the repercussions are for a child being tried with murder.
It's not a child.
A lot of times
he's getting tried as an adult.
I realize he's being tried as an adult. I agree that he shouldn't be, but I don't know what's a sentence for a child who's murdered someone. 20? Is it 10 years? Like, I still think there is some punishment necessary, but I do not agree.
I think the
that
motive
he should be in the jail system that he is in.
The motive is really getting me confused here, because if you watch the interrogation, twice he deflects when he's asked why he killed his mother. Twice.
Maybe he's a sociopath.
If he's a sociopath, why wouldn't he just say it?
Because I don't think he knows what that is.
So
because he's saying he doesn't know what the word attorney means. Maybe he doesn't know what a sociopath is. He doesn't have to have a reason. So somebody's asking why. He's like, shit, I'm supposed to have a reason. I don't have a reason. I just wanted to do it. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Just speculating. I'm just throwing it out there.
We've done other cases where kids, like I remember this one kid, I can't remember his name. He was 15, killed his parents, and then like ran back to his house. Like you could see it in his face during the interrogation that he was trying to get away with it. And this kid just looks fucking confused. I will say the motive is driving me crazy. Like, why would he do this? Like, what is the motive? He does play video games. All right. He says his only social media, I think he is a loner. He doesn't have Facebook or anything. His only friend is an online friend who he doesn't even know his name.
Yeah.
So I do believe that's a factor. Mm-hmm. He does play violent video games, fighting and shooting games, Call of Duty, Fortnite, and Fight Night. So here's the 2 points that I'm stuck up on. I want to know what the motive is, okay? And I want to know why he used that word maricona, as in her sexual nature.
Or coward.
Which probably plays into the motive, but I never played Fortnite. What is it? I mean, I know what I've seen, like, it's like Call of Duty, I guess. You know, if you watch the interview, it's crazy because, I mean, there's this kid. I'm not trying to stick up for him, Shram, but I'm saying he's a 13-year-old kid and he doesn't know his phone number. He knows all his usernames for like Discord and stuff like that, but he doesn't know his address where he's been living or where his dad lives. But he does know the details of that Glock I was telling you about, that Glock 19. He knows how to load it. He knows how much ammo it has. He knows how to put the magazine in to pull the slide back. He knows how to work that Glock, you know? And it's just kind of weird because, like, yeah, it's your address. Like, how do you not know that? How do you not know your own phone number tied to your own iPhone? Is that something kids just don't know these days?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird, man. I'm not saying he didn't do it because obviously he did.
Yeah.
But I think there's something else there. Either it's some psychological thing or there's some weird motive. Maybe it was jealousy. Maybe there's some weird thing where he was so jealous of the new baby sister, but this kid's 13. You would see that like a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know. I mean, maybe it will come out that the mom was abusive. The stepdad, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to say anything because obviously we don't know. But I'm telling you, watching that interrogation, it just doesn't, I don't know. Maybe it's just fucking kids are just psychopaths these days.
I mean, I think there is a bit of like, if he doesn't have a lot of friends, he doesn't have a lot of social interaction. So I'm sure he was very caught off guard from the interrogation. He's probably not used to having such direct conversation with someone. A lot of kids don't know how to communicate with one another or adults.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, we're all just speculating here, but I don't know.
I do want to find out who that friend is.
Yeah. To me, that is probably the most puzzling piece for me.
Yeah. Like, who is this online friend that he doesn't even know his real name? And so all he knows is his gamer tags, like his Xbox Live account and stuff.
I mean, it's weird.
It is weird, but I don't know. You're not going to hear much about this case because this is more of a Spanish case. I guess in this part of Florida, it's Spanish-speaking community. Literally, all the videos online are translated to Spanish.
I wonder when the trial starts.
It said it was already supposed to start, but I haven't seen anything. The last thing I saw was that the defense is pushing it back because they wanted to go literally reconstruct the crime scene. It kind of sounds like they may have some, you know. I think, number one, don't put this kid in freaking solitary scary. Like he's Robert
No,
Maudsley.
he shouldn't be in an adult prison. He should have his glasses. You know, that is 100%. But did they meet, you know, does that mean he didn't do it? No. He should just go through that. So
I don't know.
Brandon says he needs to be in a psych ward. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of agree with that too.
Yeah, there's something up.
There, yeah, right. There's like something. I don't know what it is. Maybe he is just a sociopath. Fuck, I don't know. But at the end of the day, dude, we gotta come up with a better rule. I mean, he's a 13 year old kid.
Like, you're an adult when you're 18. We've done cases that are. I
know,
this.
But dude, it's like, why is some kids not getting charged as an adult and others are? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's not even consistent.
Pick and choose.
It's not even. It would be like it would be consistent if it's like, oh, okay, if you're 17, or if you're 16 to 18, you're an adult. But it's some kids are 12, some kids are 16.
Yeah.
You know, other kids that are 16 aren't tried as an adult. Like, what the fuck? There's
no rhyme or reason for it.
Yeah, it's so. Anyway.
I mean, part of it is Florida. I mean, we started with it, so they are notoriously very harsh. I do want to follow it when the trial does start.
Yeah,
I'm very curious.
It's kind of crazy that all those people think he's innocent.
Yeah, I'm not following that piece of it.
I think there's more to it, but I don't know. All right, well, we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have a story, but if not...
Well, probably not, because we just talked the story today.
No, but I'm pretty much at the first episode of H.H. Holmes.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right.
So I'm going to try to do that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.
Run this shit.